Hazel Ricky, UR14 CS293. This is my case to 6th experiment where we're dealing with activity diagrams. In an activity diagram, basically it is used to document the workflow of a system. So it is basically to show the transition from a business level to an operational level, and it's a flow chart. So in this flow chart, it shows the transition from one activity to the other. So in an activity diagram, we have two types, where we have with swim lane and without swim lane. And with swim lane, you basically have each object, how they represent their activities. And without swim lane, you have just a normal flow chart where there is not much of segregation between each object. So first we'll see our without swim lane. So in without swim lane, this activity diagram is without swim lane. So here you see you have states, you have a decision making box, and you have your transitions, and you have the initial state and final state. So the initial state is used to mark the starting of the activity diagram, and the final state marks the ending. And as you can see, these are my states which help in the decision. So this is basically a flow chart. So as you can see, the login goes to the decision box and checks whether it's valid or invalid. If it's valid, it goes on to the register, and if it's invalid, it goes back to the initial state. And if it is the register is available or unavailable, if you're registering to a particular course, if it's available, it goes to the available courses, and if it is unavailable, it goes to idle state and back to the initial state. And the available courses are seen and the courses are selected. Here we have a synchronization bar. So this synchronization bar helps you to fork and join states and decisions, etc. So here we are splitting the states into faculty and subject. So the student registers for a particular faculty as well as a subject, and the faculties are seen if they are available or unavailable. If it is unavailable, it goes back to the synchronization bar and goes back to the faculty state. And if it is available, then the subject and the availability of faculties are joined together with the help of another synchronization bar, and that particular course and that faculty is updated in the system, and then the user can log out and it goes back to the final state. Now if you see the activity state with a swim lane, here you have student, course and system. So with the swim lane, you can have transitions with two or more objects. So first it starts with the initial state starts with the student, where the student will log into a particular course, and then it goes to the system. The system will verify it and goes to the decision box. If it's invalid, it goes back to the initial state, and if it is valid, it goes to the register. Now when the student registers for a course, again it goes to a decision box. If the particular registration is available, it goes to an available course which is part of the course object, and if it is unavailable, it goes back to the registration system where the student has to register again. Then the course selection is done once the courses are availability of courses are seen, and once the course selection is done, it goes to a synchronization bar where it divides into subject and faculty, which is part of the course. So if the subject is chosen, it joins back at the synchronization bar, and the faculty is again checked at the decision box in the system where it is available and unavailable. If the faculty is available, it joins along with the course selection at the synchronization bar, and if it is unavailable, it goes back to the faculty. And finally, from the synchronization bar, we are updating the faculties, and we are updating the particular course in the system, and then the student or the user logs out, and then it goes to a final state. This is my case tool 6 experiment. Thank you.